I would love to talk about this great article that you wrote. The headline is Why We Need All Five of These Coronavirus Vaccine Companies to End the Pandemic. I am dropping the article in our Zoom chat so viewers can check it out. Can you tell me about your thesis here and what investors should know?
Sure. It kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about the idea that everybody can be vaccinated in a short period of time isn't really realistic because basically just one of these companies doesn't have the capacity to vaccinate everyone. So we really need many of them. And I'm referring to Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Novavax, Johnson & Johnson. Those are like the five American, Western European, UK companies that are involved in this race. And so if we count up, they've all said how many doses they could produce by the end of next year. And so if we count all of that up and we count, the entire population of the world is 7.8 billion people. And if we consider all the doses and how many now, all of those companies, they're 2-dose vaccines, except Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson is a 1-dose. Now, J&J has said that they're going to do 1 billion doses. So that means 1 billion people. Whereas the other companies, you have to divide it in half because of the 2-dose regimen. So anyway, when we total everything together, we get 8.3 billion doses. And now that falls short of the 9.4 billion doses needed. So at this point, we really do need all of the players. If considering that everybody wants the vaccine, we would need all of those players and probably more.
Absolutely. And a lot has been said about herd immunity. I think some of us are not really sure what that means. It makes us feel a little bit like cattle. What does that mean and why does it matter?
It really does feel like cattle. Basically, it means that we have to have a certain percentage of the population that is immune now to a certain virus. Now, we can get that from just being exposed to the virus and everybody getting sick, or you can get that way through, from a vaccine so that everyone is immunized from vaccine, or a little bit of both. In this case, it's probably going to be a bit of both because there are obviously a lot of people who have had coronavirus and have been exposed. And now the idea is to vaccinate as many people as possible so we can reach herd immunity. Now, it depends on the percentage of the population needed to be immunized depends on the illness, but depends on the virus. In this case, researchers are saying it's about 67% of the population to reach herd immunity. So we have to vaccinate a good percentage to get there. And so it really does matter. It really is something important to get as many people vaccinated as possible to try to reach that. And that would stop, the idea of that is that it would stop the transmission of coronavirus and stop the pandemic eventually.